welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining to you the difference between a catering res and a self-catering res at UCT. So if that's for you, keep watching. So over the 3.5 years that I studied at UCT, I managed to stay at both the catering res and a self-catering res. One of them seriously sucks, which it's kind of obvious which one that is. So I'm going to be explaining to you just the pros and cons and like little tips that I figured out over those years. So generally when UCT accepts you as a first year, you almost in a way automatically fall under the first tier res. So first tier res means catering res and second tier res means self-catering res. So side note, most first tier reses are divided. So by divided I mean that the boys stay with the boys and the girls stay with the girls. And when you reach to second tier levels, which is more or less around your third year of studies, then you live together as one, boys and girls together at one res. So usually, I don't know if it's an age thing, they feel like, okay, you're 20 now, you're mature enough to live together or what, but generally when you come to UCT, you fall under catering res. So once you got accepted into a catering res, the next thing that they'll ask you to do is to choose a meal plan option. So there are 4 different options. The first one being plan 1, which is where you eat breakfast, lunch and dinner. Meal plan 2 is where you eat lunch and dinner. The third one being where you eat breakfast and dinner. And the fourth one being breakfast, lunch and dinner Monday to Friday. I personally was on meal plan 4, so I had breakfast, lunch and dinner only Monday to Friday because I stayed in Cape Town, so the weekends I went home and ate my mommy's food. So depending on which meal plan option you take, it also depends on how much you're going to be paying in addition to your standard accommodation fees. So obviously if I'm eating breakfast, lunch and dinner for 7 days a week, I'm going to be paying more than someone that's eating only breakfast and dinner for the week. So UCT's meal plan kind of works on a 2-week schedule. So what I mean by that is this week, Monday to Sunday, this is our set meals. Next week, Monday to Sunday, this is our set meals. And then you just repeat that process. So you basically have like 2 weeks of the same food over and over. So 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, until you at some point are just like, I want to kill myself. This is so boring. And then you end up getting fat. And you get fresher spread because you don't want to eat res food, so you go to main road and you buy McDonald's all the time or Uber Eats or whatever the case may be because you just get sick and tired of eating the same food in the same order. So that being said, it's not necessarily in the same order. So what I mean by that is at each meal there is 3 options. This is like for lunch and dinner specifically. So at breakfast there's only 2 options. So for example, the one plate will be bacon and egg and the other plate will maybe be like scones. So then you can choose whichever one you want, you tell them you eat it, you have a good time, you go to upper. Or you can have like toast, or you can have like just a yogurt and muesli thing if you into the more healthier vibes. However, at lunch and dinner there is 3 different options. So 2 of the options will be just your normal options and then the third option will be a vegetarian option. So basically every time you go to lunch or to dinner, there's 2 different meals you can choose between and that's it. Again, that same meal you'll get in 2 weeks time, that option. I don't know if this makes any sense. If it doesn't, why are you at UCT? It's easy to follow. Okay, so that being said, if you don't want either one of the 2 options that they give you there, you can also choose a cold plate option, which basically is them giving you either a plate of cheese or a plate of tuna or a plate of chicken, right? So then what you can do is you can take the chicken and you can put it with a salad and make a chicken salad. Or you can take the chicken and you can put it on a sandwich and have chicken and mayo. You can basically just play around with the cheese and the salads and the whatever. So at every meal there is like a salad bar that you can choose from. If you just want to eat salads and forever, then that's fine too. And that's at breakfast, and that's at lunch and at dinner. And at breakfast there's also a separate bar with like yogurts and cereals that you can choose from. And at every meal you get your coffees and your teas, bottomless baby, so you can drink all the coffee and the tea that you want, and also water. And then you also get a juice with it. Depends on the size. Sometimes if they have the small ones then you'll get 2 small ones or you'll get a big one. So you always have something to drink and something to eat every time you go. So another thing with the self-catering res is that you have certain times in which you can eat. I think the breakfast, if I remember correctly, is between 7 and 8. Lunch is between 12 and 2, and then dinner is between 6, no, not 6, between 5 and 8. Me, I like to socialize. I would go at 5 and I would stay there till 8. Sometimes they even like, y'all gotta leave now though, like the eating time is finished. So with that being said, there is like some sort of structure around when you can eat. And then again, like if you're doing self-catering, you can obviously just eat whenever, hopefully, if no one is in the kitchen at the time that you want to make yourself something to eat. Another thing about the catering reses is that you can take a meal voucher. So basically what that means is, if you think that your classes, there's no time for you to come between a certain time frame of 12 till 2 to eat your lunch, you can take like a little voucher and then buy yourself something to eat at Upper. So you don't have to spend actual cash on Upper, because I mean, you paid for food. So you take the meal voucher with you and then you eat at Upper. You cannot, a lot of people try to do this, you can't eat at the dining hall and take a voucher, because then that's 2 meals, logically. So if you think, I'm not in the mood, I don't like whatever Wednesday food, I'm not going to eat there, then you take a meal voucher, you can eat on Upper, or you just have no time, so you can do that. Now, why I say that you should do catering res if you are a first year. The main and most obvious point being that the change between university and high school, it's dramatic. The workload specifically is out of this world. There's so much reading, so much assignments, so much tests. So you have something due every single day. If it's not a TAT, if it's not a assignment, if it's not something, is due. So for me personally, it saved so much time having to go to the dining hall, eating my food and leave. So I don't even have to wash my own dishes. I don't have to cook my own food. I would just eat, put my plate there and leave. So if you're first year, and maybe even I would say second year, definitely I would recommend going to a catering res, just because it saves you time and effort. However, you can ask UCT like, look, I don't like this food thing, can I move? And then if someone like maybe left res and decided to go live on their own, or whatever the case may be, then you can move like in the middle of the year, but it's much more difficult to move in between the year as opposed to like the next year. So like I said, UCT basically forces you to move to a self-catering res when you reach about 3rd year level, unless you're doing something in the house. So I was doing something in the house, so I only moved to a self-catering res in my last 6 months that I was studying at UCT. So I stayed at OBS, and there again, like I said, I was staying boys, girls. My neighbor this side was a boy, this side was a girl. So that is a big adjustment on its own. Again, another adjustment. And then you share like a communal kitchen with everyone. So there's like one stove, so which is an issue. So if someone's cooking, like you have to wait until they're done and then you can go. And so, you know, you don't really have control over your time as much. And then you have to clean your own dishes when you're done. A lot of people don't clean their dishes and they just leave it there for a while until the little mold starts forming. So that is disgusting. I don't know why people do that, but there's that. And obviously, again, just overall, it's much more time consuming to make your own food, to clean your own dishes. And like I said, you can't really even control when you're gonna be cooking, because someone else might be cooking there at the time. So now you thought I was gonna study from 6 till 9, but now someone is using the kitchen, so you can't cook your food, and it's a mission. Another like con about living in a self-catering res is that you have to share your fridge with other people, and then all of a sudden your milk was like this, now your milk is like this, and so that is just a mess. You can't actually keep, at OBS specifically, you can't keep a bar fridge in your room like you could at the catering reses. So you have to keep your food in the communal fridge, and then the things just go missing, and other people's things in the fridge is like already off, but it's still in the fridge, and you're like, should I throw it out? Like, what if they attack me because now their food is missing? Like, it is a mess. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys found it useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to check out the rest of my UCT playlist, where you can find all the other advice that I give on how to get into UCT. You can see my room tour, you can see my graduation, and a whole lot of other extra stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.